Echoes of the mind. From the tumult of karma to the power of vow.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's deep dive. What we're going to talk about today is incredibly fascinating. We are going to break down a profound philosophy that carries immense practical value for our daily lives. This material comes from a wonderful sharing by the Buddha Conduct Association of Australia. This theme won't just completely transform how you view the world, it will directly resolve the daily anxieties and sufferings we all face. Are you ready to flip your perception of reality on its head? Let us dive straight in. Today, we've mapped out a very clear path of exploration for you. First, we'll talk about the echoes of cause and effect. Next, we'll look at the waves of the karmic sea. Then, we'll dissect the delusional and fabricating consciousness. After that, we'll uncover the true meaning of repentance. Finally, we'll explore how the power of vow illuminates the path ahead. The echoes of cause and effect. Have you ever pondered this question? In the source material of our analysis today, the disciple asked the master a fascinating, thought-provoking question: why do valleys have echoes? Is it because they are empty? It sounds like a simple question, but it instantly sparks our curiosity about the nature of reality and the law of cause and effect. How exactly does this universe we live in operate? The master gave a profoundly deep answer. He said that, in truth, our mind is the ultimate source. When you shout at a mountain, it naturally echoes back. The voice you shout out is the cause, and the return echo is the effect. The master further explained that even within the ethereal, tranquil quietude of our inherent nature, the moment a single thought stirs, it creates an energetic wave carrying information. You didn't hear that wrong. Every single tiny thought you generate sends an information wave out into the universe. As these waves constantly overlap and collapse, this formless energy eventually solidifies into the physical experiences of your actual reality. This is the most authentic law of cause and effect. To illustrate just how absolute this mental power is, the master used an incredibly vivid and unexpected analogy. He said that even if you were told, as long as you could align your thoughts with the Buddha's wisdom and rules, you could still ascend to the highest heavens and even attain Buddhahood. Therefore, the most critical takeaway here is this: no matter our current status, position, or how terrible our circumstances may be, as long as we correctly calibrate our minds and act in alignment with the laws of the universe, success is an absolute certainty. It is as natural as all rivers eventually flowing into the sea. The waves of the karmic sea. Now let us look at our second part, the waves of the karmic sea, and talk about what this cosmic echo actually feels like in our day-to-day lives. To be honest, doesn't our daily life feel a lot like riding a roller coaster? We're tossing violently in a sea of karma. One moment we are carried to the crest of a wave, feeling on top of the world like life's ultimate winner. The next moment, we crash hard into the trough of the wave, feeling utterly unlucky and filled with despair. Most of us are like ships with no defense, ruthlessly buffeted across a stormy sea by the wild winds of karma. In sharp contrast, those who can anchor themselves steadily in their inherent nature remain completely unaffected by these karmic winds. No matter how massive the waves are outside, their inner minds remain peaceful and unmoving. Here, the master directly woke us up to an absurd truth: we actually mistake these temporary waves for who we are. Think about it: your physical body and your surrounding environment, when it comes down to it, are just tiny, fleeting waves temporarily surging in the ocean of karma. If you identify these transient waves as the true you and drive yourself crazy with anxiety and agony over their daily ups and downs, well, that is the absolute root of your daily suffering. Because that is simply not the real you. The delusional and fabricating consciousness. Since that isn't the real us, what on earth is forcing us onto this painful roller coaster? Let us enter our third part, the delusional and fabricating consciousness. In reality, everything begins with the 5 information collectors on our bodies: our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. These 5 senses act like advanced radar, constantly scanning the outside world for data. When we see something beautiful, we desperately crave it. When we hear something unpleasant, we immediately put up our guard. We end up guarding ourselves against the world as if protecting against thieves sometimes. We even guard against our closest family members. This continuous defensive behavior of tightly grasping what we like and forcefully pushing away what we dislike is Bottom line, endlessly manufacturing the negative karma of suffering. However, the true mastermind behind our pain is the mind, our conscious awareness. The five senses are just innocent information gatherers. What truly drives us mad is the process of fabrication. Look at how it works. The conscious mind takes just a tiny speck of sensory data, instantly mixes it with past memories, and then day and night crazily spins it into a massive, exaggerated, and completely fake story. And the final result? We end up enduring intense, excruciating suffering, all for the sake of a lie that completely violates reality. This is the true root cause of what we often call the suffering of separation from loved ones and the suffering of not getting what one desires. Constantly letting your mind wander and exhausting your mental energy in this way is an exhausting habit of psychological fabrication that completely violates natural laws. Because we are relentlessly creating karma in our minds, it 100% guarantees that we will be trapped in an infinite loop of suffering, constantly reincarnating across the four types of birth. Simply put, as long as this story-weaving consciousness does not stop for a single day, our reincarnation and suffering will not stop for a single day. 4. The true meaning of repentance. Now that we've diagnosed the illness behind our suffering, what is the antidote? Let us look apart for the true meaning of repentance. The Master offered a highly practical solution based on a shocking concept: heaven and hell are not places you go to after you die. They are the real-time states of how your mind processes information right now. Look at those who are grateful. As long as gratitude lives in their hearts, they instantly feel the happiness and joy of being blessed in the present moment. Their wholesome roots will never perish. Conversely, those who repay kindness with resentment mistake others' goodwill or blessings for harm. In that very instant, not only is their inner mind suffering terribly, but they also personally sever the very foundation that protects them. This perfectly proves that the moment you change your mindset, your retribution changes instantly. To completely wake us up, the Master used an incredibly vivid and admittedly quite intense analogy to describe our loop of holding grudges. He compared other people's faults to cat and dog feces. Let us look at what we usually do. Step E. Lean in to smell it. Staring obsessively at other people's flaws. Gossiping and talking about others' drama everywhere. Storing it deeply inside your brain. This is absolutely ridiculous. Right, but it perfectly highlights how irrational and disgusting it is when we tightly cling to other people's mistakes. So, please carve this phrase deeply into your mind. There is absolutely no need to punish and torture yourself with the faults of others. Think about it, someone might have only been 1% in the wrong, but our story-weaving consciousness automatically slaps a 99% exaggeration filter over it. We end up throwing a massive tantrum and feeling like the whole world is against us. All over a 100% flawed person fabricated entirely by our own brains. Frankly speaking, this is pure self-destruction and self-torture. Once we understand this, we need to completely redefine the word repentance. Repentance is absolutely not a chore meant to force you into self-blame. It is the ultimate mental house cleaning. The Buddhist saying, when sin is extinguished and the mind is gone, both are revealed as empty, means exactly this. When you clear away the centuries of dirt piled up on your six senses, which are those pieces of cat and dog feces we just talked about, and clearly see that the overthinking consciousness is not the real you, those so-called karmic obstacles will naturally vanish into nothingness. This is true repentance. Only this can restore your purest, most original merit. Ooh, the power of vow illuminates the path ahead. Now that our major cleanup is done and the lens of our mind is wiped clean, what is the next step? We enter our final part. The power of vow illuminates the path ahead. A person without a direction in their spiritual practices, to put it bluntly, like a blind wanderer stumbling along the road of life. They don't know where the potholes are or where the rocks are, walking sideways and ending up bruised and battered every day. However, once you truly understand the laws of the Dharma, you become like a clear-sighted traveler who has regained their vision and holds a bright lantern in hand. You know exactly where to step, and you know how to safely navigate toward a peaceful and joyful destination. But please take note, even if you have excellent vision and can see everything crystal clear, if you do not make a clear and definite vow, everything will still be in vain. The master specifically emphasized that if you spend all day chanting the Buddha's name but never make a vow, for instance, vowing to be reborn in the pure land of ultimate bliss, it is just like running wildly in pitch darkness. You might be running at full speed in all directions, but you have no clear destination. Without the power of a vow, your practice completely loses direction and becomes virtually useless. Conclusion. Well, our deep dive into the sharing from the Buddha Conduct Association of Australia is drawing to a close. To wrap up, I want to turn the focus back onto you. Right now, your eyes have been opened. You already understand the echoes of cause and effect. You have seen through the delusional fabrications of the consciousness, and you know how to clear out your mental trash. But I want to ask you the most profound question of all: where will your power of vow lead you today? I hope you take this question back into your daily life and truly reflect on it. Until next time.